Hi, this is Mrs. Albertson. Welcome to my kindergarten class. I am so excited to be your teacher this year. If you look at the picture, I am the lady with the pink, and Mrs. Carrillo, our full-time assistant, is the lady with the blue shirt on. This is my 18th year teaching, 6 at St. Paul's. I did work in Duval County prior to coming here. I went to Queens College. It was Queens College when I went there in Charlotte, North Carolina for part of my degree. I was actually the school mascot while I was there. And then I finished up and got my bachelor's degree from UNF and my master's degree from UWF. I'm married. My husband's name is Sean. My daughter Chloe attends St. Paul's. She's in 4th grade. I have 2 dogs, Lily and Rose. And I don't live here at the beach. I live just across the ditch on a little creek. And I go paddleboarding a ton. I go running. I love to read and write and spend time with my family. But school is one of my favorite places to be, so I'm so excited to share my joy of love, or joy of learning, and love of school and of God with your family. All right, communication is super important in kindergarten. The best way to communicate with me is through my email, as you can see up at the top of the page. I will, on occasion, send you an email through RenWeb. If you reply to that email, then it could get lost. So when you need to email me, start a new thread, and that way it will guarantee that I get it. Sometimes, I don't know, the email system will throw replies to general emails in my clutter box. So just if you actually type out my email, it will get to me. Phone calls, I cannot do phone calls during the school day. I have very little planning time, and we don't have a phone in the classroom. So that's not the best way to communicate with me. On occasion, if I need to actually speak with you about behavior or something like that, I will perhaps give you a phone call or let you know that I'm going to call. But in general, I don't call. The school will call about absences or paperwork that needs to get officially filed in the office, but I will not be calling you. The clinic will also call you. We have a system called RenWeb. Many of you are familiar with it because you have other children in the school, but if this is your first time at St. Paul's, you are really going to need to set up your account and keep those passwords handy, because that's how we send our report cards, and it's a great way to check things. And if we ever get back to ordering lunch, you'll need to know how to sign in. So follow the office's directions on signing up for RunWeb and having those passwords handy. And then this year we are going to start with Seesaw. Everyone is going to get familiar with it. I'm going to pray that we don't have to go to virtual learning at any point, but just in case, we have a platform, Seesaw, that we will be using to share information. And I will try and use that throughout the year, just with pictures and work and lessons, just so that you can see the inner workings of kindergarten throughout the day. So one safe way for us to communicate daily is with a pouch. And so we have various colors. Your child's number and name will be on that pouch, and that goes home and to school every day. And inside, later on, I'll talk about the behavior slip that is in there, but if you need to send money or notes for the office or, forms, that's the way you would get it to school. Don't put anything else in there. And it, goes home and comes back every single day. We also have a Thursday folder that will go home on Thursday filled with work and art, and you will need to empty it Thursday night. I would highly recommend designating a spot for school papers so that they don't accidentally end up in the trash. And the folder needs to be returned Friday morning. If, for example, we don't have school on Friday or don't have school on Thursday for some reason, it's just the next school day. That helps us, maintain the classroom organization, and so you can put your hands on what they've been working on in the day. I try and keep one side for things for you to look and keep or toss, and then the other side might have homework when we get to that, or forms that you need to fill out. Okay, so check the school website. There are so many important updates that occur on the website, and you can get information about activities and events and procedures. Also, our principal, Ms. Thompson, will email you frequently. And I know, just because I'm a parent as well, that it might be a little overwhelming. But take the time, read them carefully. Okay? I don't repeat information that she is telling you. If it's a tag day or a special lunch thing that's going on, I'm not going to repeat that because I don't really like redundancy. And I also want you to get in the habit of reading her emails. So just, even if, it seems like she's, cutting and pasting the same prayers or whatever, if she's emailing you, she's sending you information that's important. So just get in the habit of reading her emails. That's how she communicates. If she changes it, however she communicates it to you, so that way you can stay in the know. And also utilize Fifth Street Blacktop and the St. Paul's social media sites as well. All right, so we're going to try and not say the word COVID or coronavirus in the classroom. We're just going to talk about being healthy and safe and clean. And so that's how that's going to go with the students. But know that we take your child's health very seriously. And so we're going to be following the correct protocols. We're going to be teaching and learning about washing our hands. We have 3 sinks in our classroom. How lucky are we? We have 2 bathrooms, a boys' bathroom and a girls' bathroom, and then a classroom sink. And we are going to be doing everything we can just to, keep the germs at bay. Kids will get sick in kindergarten. That's just a normal thing, despite the current climate out there. And it's important for your child to develop an immune system. And I'm pretty sure you understand that, sending your child back to school. But know that we take it seriously. We're going to really work with our students and teach them, how to stay safe and healthy, and do our best to not create any, anxiety about that while we're learning. If you have any questions about that after you come in and visit the classroom, I welcome any emails about that. All right, thank you. There are so many helpful websites out there. Of course, there's our school website, and then we have our FACS or RUN website, and then we have Facebook pages and Instagram pages where you can get lots of information about what's going on at St. Paul's, or advice, or just recommendations. So just check those out, and you should be good. All right, so here's our schedule. I know it's hard to read. I will provide a color-coded copy for you guys. It's, a fluid document, obviously, in kindergarten, but there will be days where we don't get to certain things, and that's okay. But this is what it would look like in a perfect world. I also provided the schedule so that you can see our special resource classes for this year. So on Mondays, we have STREAM, which is our science, technology, religion, engineering, art, and mathematics class. It's really fun. We learn a lot about science in there. And Mrs. Stuckey is the teacher for that class. On Tuesdays, we have library, and that's Mrs. Bradley is the teacher for that class. And then we have PE on Wednesdays with Coach Houlihan, and that is the day that we can dress out in our PE uniform. If you don't have a PE uniform, you can get an order form from the office, and I believe it's posted on our website where you can print it out, and then if you just send in the money, you can, they'll deliver it to the classroom and your child will take it home. Thursdays, we have music with Mrs. Card, and on Friday, we have art and computers. Art, that's with Mr. Saufer, and with computers, we have Mr. Durden. Okay, so these are our classroom expectations, and we teach these, we model these, we know that this is your child's first year, or for the most part, your child's first year in a big school, and so we are setting them up for success for the rest of their career at St. Paul. So these are just great guidelines of what type of behavior is expected throughout school and the building. All right, so the behavior in our classroom sets the behavior for school. And in the Catholic school setting, we have a super special culture. It's calm and kind. And by teaching your child how to behave in the school, we're striving for the students to be confident and polite and have self-control in certain situations. And I really appreciate your support in this area. You wouldn't be here if you didn't value that. So when we discuss behavior or anything that needs to be addressed at home, you'll be notified. We, in the next slide or next few slides, there's a behavior slip where you will be informed on behavior. Okay, so this is an example of our behavior communication. This is a paper slip that will be in your child's pouch. And if they had a great day, super great day, they'll get a sticker in the square that day is. And then all I want you to do is just kind of, throw your initial down below saying that you saw it. And, this is a great way for you to have daily communication with your child about, what they're doing in school. So if they get a sticker, way to go, good job, I'm so proud of you, thank you for doing what you're supposed to be doing. Or if there is a mark, so this is, we call it, oh, you're getting a mark, no big deal. Like I said, it's not displayed. Most of the kids know what's going on in the classroom anyways. I try to make it private, but they all know. But if, I put like a 1 there, talking in line, or for whatever reason, they get the mark. If there needs to be a narrative, I usually write something on the back, or I have Ms. Carrillo write the circumstance on the back. The mark in itself usually is enough of a punishment. Children are really hard on themselves. They want to be perfect. No one's perfect. It's okay. If they get a mark, it's not the end of the world. It's just a conversation. And, you could reinforce like, hey, when your teacher is asking you to do something, you really need to listen to them. Whatever, you don't have to write back what you did. You don't have to have them write a sorry note, or, I mean, some of those things are great depending on the circumstance. Super. But I'm not going to share with you other children's behavior. So, for example, if, you know, Bubba and Bobby get into a scuffle or a wrestling match, I'm not going to write Bubba and Bobby on the slip. So it's just going to be your child. If you want more information about it, you can email me. But in general, it's real quick and simple, and we address it. And, any punishments that occur, they happen on the spot. We don't really save that for, another day or even later. A lot of times the kids don't even remember what happened. You might ask them, "Oh, why did you get this mark?" And they might not even remember it, and that's okay. But it's just a real quick communication. I like to have daily communication, especially when they're developing the way they do in kindergarten. Um, and yeah, so that's what you'll see every day from us. Okay, so this is just kind of an example of what happens when a rule is broken. So, if a child is, being unkind, well, we would pull them, aside and say, what happened? Why did you say that? Because, it's always good to hear what the child, what led to the feelings being hurt. And then we'll ask them to apologize and maybe explain what they learned from it. If, after a period of learning has occurred and a child is basically going out of their way and making the choice to making a bad choice, then we will give them a mark. We do so many rule reminders in the first 9 weeks of school. But if, we're seeing marks and it's relevant and we have to have me and you, the parent, have to have a conversation about it, it's of note. So obviously some behavior is really important. We need to send to the office, if, they're doing the big things like hitting or biting or spitting, vandalism, drawing on the building, or, destroying school property. Obviously, we're going to send them to the office to, not create a habit of that. But in general, in kindergarten, they're still learning how to be, and especially after this big long break of not being with their friends, we understand that they're going to need a little bit more learning time with that. So we have rewards as well, and the kids love this. So what we do at the end of the week, if they didn't get a mark, then during rest time, they will visit the treasure box and pick out some sort of trinket. If you want to help with that, I would love your help, especially for the boy. I can pick out stuff for girls really well, but for some reason, the boys, they're the harder shoppers in the treasure box. So if you could send in 30 small items that could go in the treasure box, you could, check out Oriental trading. I think, things that you would put in a, birthday goodie bag or something that you get from McDonald's or Chick-fil-A or something like that, some sort of trinket that they can hold on to. Send it in, put it in a baggie, and, and then we'll store it and use it throughout the year. For that would be great. For the first quarter, we will not have homework. Instead, you should be reading aloud to your child every night. We will have sight words that your child needs to study. Some children need more time to study sight words, so just keep that in mind. And then starting in October, you will be getting homework sent home each week to be completed weekly. They'll be daily assignments, but then you'll turn them in at the end of the week. We also have family projects that you'll be completing together. There will be something in October for Wild Things, something in December for the gingerbread, and then in February, a book report for Valentine's Day. We also have, I can't remember what month it is, a 100th day project that will get sent home. So you'll be given proper notice and you will need to help your child with each of those projects. Sadly, right now we can't celebrate birthdays with food in the classroom. So instead, we'll make a birthday book or have a birthday dance and sing in the classroom. Pay attention to the party invite rules. These will follow throughout St. Paul's. If you want us, the school, to send home paper invites, you have to send them to the whole class, or you have to send them to one gender. Okay, so we can't just, take a partial list and pass them out. It's just one of our rules that we don't do. We also can't email parents or send out an email blast with party information. So you are going to have to work with the parents, the room parents of the class, and obtain emails and phone numbers. And then also Facebook. The Facebook pages are a great way to communicate with other parents. So sorry about that, but that's just a rule that will stay with us in St. Paul's.
We will be eating lunch in the classroom this year, and we have some special rules for that. So first, we want you to send in a healthy snack for snack time, and then we need you to send in a lunch and a water bottle, and the water bottle shouldn't be larger than 12 inches. There's just no reason for a kindergartner to have a huge $40 hydro flask that holds a gallon of water. It's just a recipe for disaster with spillage. So just a smaller water bottle with their name labeled on it. We will not be providing any lunches in the cafeteria at this time. That might change. When that does, I will be sure to contact you and kind of talk to you about that procedure. I'm not going to waste time on that right now. If your child needs water refilling, we do have refill stations at the school, but they won't be able to drink from the water fountains. So you need to be able to send all the utensils and condiments that your child will need. There are some hints over here. It's kind of hard for you to see, so I'm just going to kind of go over it a little bit. But for the water bottles, we prefer like a flip top. Not anything where like they're having to pull it off with their hand and touch the mouth spout with their hand. We also don't want to see sippy cups or cups that are really meant to be like a smoothie shaker or anything like that, because those they always end up spilling on the floor. So just a regular water bottle with a flip top would be helpful. If a lunch box that's like a bento box, or easy to open Tupperware containers. Ziploc bags are great to put food in, and then there are these cute little reusable sandwich bags with Velcro that are great. And then anything that's child friendly that have easy twist off spots for the food, that would be great. Now, there are other things, and I'm not going to say you can't send them in, but I'm just saying they're harder to open, and it would just be easier for germs to get transmitted, because Ms. Carrillo or myself would be having to help your child open these things. So just keep those in mind when you're doing your grocery shopping. Capri Suns are the hardest, and they almost always spill. So perhaps a different type of juice box would be preferred. Also Lunchables, they use amazing glue in these containers, and so a lot of times the child will pull it off really, really hard, and then their food will go flying. And they also, sometimes when they open up the Lunchables, there's more packages to open. So they open the one package, and then they have to open 5 other packages to get to food. And we have a limited amount of time, and if we're over there opening 5 packages and another child's not eating, so just kind of keep that in mind. And then I'm just going to kind of get on a soapbox a little bit about yogurt. And cheese sticks as well. So what'll happen is half of the time the child will be successful with opening them, but then the other half they will try to open these packages with their mouth, and their spit or saliva will be all over them, and then they'll hand them to me and Miss Carrillo to open up, and it's just gross. So if you're going to send, I really don't want to see yogurt, but if you're going to send it in an easier to open package, maybe a twist off lid, where you pour it in yourself and then they can twist it off. Even the packages of yogurt where you peel off the lid, they almost always burp all over their clothes or their face or their desk, so it's just really gross. I love yogurt, by the way. I'm not saying don't feed it. Maybe it might be a breakfast item. And then also twist off drinks like Gatorade, or even disposable water bottles. The children have a really hard time twisting those. So if you do send them, just think about how they will be able to open them when you send them. Okay.
All right, so having your child here is super important. We want them here regularly. We want them here promptly, so that they can be successful. If you make school a priority, school will be a priority for them. If your child does miss a day because they're sick or they were at a special doctor's appointment, you will need to bring in a written note and stating why your child missed those days of school. Also, we see this a lot in kindergarten, parents scheduling, vacations during the week. I highly recommend not doing that. It just sends the wrong message. And when you are doing that, we can't provide work in advance. It doesn't align with our mission, so they can get it afterwards. But we can't provide it before. Also, when your child's sick, they have to stay home 72 hours symptom free. That could change. That rule could change. It's fluid right now. That's part of our return to school plan. But, have a plan for when your child is sick, okay? Because we don't want them to come in here and spread germs and then have an outbreak of some sort. And, in kindergarten, we do get sick. Kids catch strep throats. They pass viruses back and forth that aren't, related to the current climate right now. It's important for them to build up their immune system and to have those experiences. But when that happens, we really do want to minimize that just by, when we have those symptoms, to stay home. Okay, so in kindergarten, we have, integrated learning throughout the day. And these are our subjects. Okay, so we will not have a report card for the first 9 weeks of school. You will get a progress report that highlights social skills and development at the time, but it's unofficial, and we don't put it in the system or anything like that. It's just for informational purposes only. We will also have some sort of conference. It might be in person, but I have an idea that it'll probably be a Zoom call on that day. Your child doesn't go to school that day. So parents always need to be told that in kindergarten, just because it's your first go round. For some of you, it's your first go round at St. Paul. So no school on October 24th. And we will have a conference either in person or a Zoom call, and I will send out a sign up genius on October 1st for that. Okay. And then down below it says something about the uniform if it's a Zoom call. Obviously, we're not going to do that, but just in case, I put it in there. Okay, so your child will receive a report card, and it will be online for the second, third, and fourth quarter, and those are official in nature. Okay. We don't do progress reports like the older grades. So our, grading, we do one-on-one assessments, and so it would be really hard for me to stop and assess 4.5 weeks into the quarter to give you that information. You'll get an idea when you're looking at their work as it goes home, but this is just the grading scale, and we'll talk more about that when the first report card comes out. So eventually, I will need parent volunteers. I will have a sign up for that during orientation. And if you're interested in any of these things, you can just email me. I also, if you have any special talents or, um, I don't know, you have a really cool job that you wanted to share with the class or share any of those talents, just let me know. And maybe at the end of the year, we'll be able to fit it in as visitors are allowed on our campus. So, don't hold back if, I know we have parents that have really neat jobs that could, be fun for us to learn about. Okay, you might want to print this page out. Take a picture of it, add it to your Google Calendar. These are the important dates. They will definitely look different than what they have in the past because for obvious reasons. But you still need to know these days. Okay, so October 29th, we're having a Wild Thing Parade. It's so cute. I'll send more information about that. We're going to actually walk around the physical school outside so that you'll get to take pictures of that. December 20th, hopefully, we will have a Christmas party. The room parents will figure out how we can do that safely. Hopefully we'll be able to have parties by then. March 31st would be the day that we have it, if we're allowed to have it. And then if we can go on a field trip, we'll be going to Diamond D April 16th. And then we don't have kindergarten graduation, but we have a special end of the year performance and a cute little tea party on May 20th. So that would be the day to take off from work, because also when you're done with the tea party, you have to take your kid. So take that day off. That's a very, very special, fun day. All right. And so hopefully things will change by the end of the year. If they don't, the parents won't participate in the same capacity that they have in the past. Okay. So boys, they need to know how to tuck their shirts. Okay. Also, for the boys, you need to just kind of get into the habit of scheduling haircuts. Please refer to the dress code that's in the parent manual that you should have already read and studied. But boys can't have long hair. We also want solid-ish black, white, navy shoes. Okay, Nike swoops are okay. It's all right. Adidas stripes are all right, but we can't have, sparkly shoes. We can't have glowing shoes. So just keep that in mind. I also want to say that if you're sending your child with shoelaces, please double knot them or triple knot them, because Mrs. Curlow and I are the ones who end up tying their shoes, and a lot of times they're wet or just really gross, and I really don't want to be touching their shoes. So if you could, really get into the habit of double knotting those shoes before you send them to school, that would be great. Girls probably want to wear modesty shorts underneath their dress, just so that they can play and have fun. If they don't wear shorts, that's okay as well. No one will notice, no one will take note, but I just want them to be very comfortable. I want them to be able to play and hang and do all sorts of things on the playground. So, buying, 5 little pairs of modesty shorts would be great. Girls should not wear nail polish to school. Sometimes, they'll go to a birthday party on the weekend or they'll have a special mommy spa day. It has to come off on Monday. If, by accident they do come on Monday with nail polish, I'll just probably, remind them, oh, you need to take that off. Okay. No, like they're not going to get sent to the office for that or anything like that. We shouldn't have any pink or purple or green hair, so it needs to be natural colors only. We also don't wear bracelets or watches or Fitbits in kindergarten. You can wear a religious necklace, but I'm also going to say that I probably wouldn't want my child to wear a necklace at all. They all just end up sucking on them or friends end up touching them. So, if necessary, it needs to be a religious necklace. If not, it needs to stay home. For earrings for girls, they need to be studs only. They can't be dangling earrings for safety reasons. I'm going to say it again, sneakers, sneakers, sneakers. Sometimes girls like to wear like the Mary Janes, and they do have Mary Jane sneakers, but if it doesn't have like a rubber sole, your child could get hurt. So just kind of keep that in mind. Also, we will be wearing masks during transitions. So I'm going to ask that if your child's mask is not a buff, like one of those like pieces of cloth that they pull over their face, for you to attach it with a lanyard. So that way when they go to resources, they're just hanging around their neck and not like laying on the ground or anything like that. Help us keep track of them better. During the school day, while they're in the classroom, their masks will be in their cubby. Okay, so study the arrival procedure and then also dismissal. It's important for you to like look at the map and really understand which way you're going. Your children will be waiting out here for you at, if your child is in kindergarten and you don't have any siblings that are over the second grade, then your dismissal is at 2:15. If you have anyone that is third grade or higher, these are your dismissal times. Okay, so 2:30, 2:45, and 3 o'clock. So just study it carefully, know which way you're going. We're on the gym side, so when carpool starts, you'll veer to the left. And also you might want to keep that in mind for car seats. So if your child is entering on that side, think of, where you want to place their car seat so that they can get in easily.
For the first 3 days of school, we'd like your child to wear a name tag. And then we also have early dismissal on the first 3 days of school. So kindergarten, first and second grades will be dismissed at 11:30. For those days, you will need to pack a snack. And if your child is staying for extended day, you need to pack a lunch. Also, on the first day of school, our drop-off is a little bit different. You're going to have to park your car and you're going to escort your child to the gate on 5th Street that leads to the kindergarten classroom. Mrs. Carrillo will be there and she'll be taking temperatures, and when she takes your child's temperature, they'll need to walk up the ramp to the classroom where I'll be waiting for them. And then after the first day of school, drop-off is a little bit different. I'll have more information for you during orientation about that, but they'll get dropped off from the car and they'll get their temperature taken, and then they'll be escorted into the building by a patrol. Okay, your child should bring a backpack to school every single day, and your child's pouch should be packed in his or her backpack each day. So just kind of make that a habit of when you take the pouch out of the backpack to put it right back so it doesn't get lost. And then our first day of school is a Wednesday, and normally we would wear our PE uniform on that day. They don't have to on that for the first day. If you want to get them in their, regular school uniform with their first day picture, that's perfect for them. So, don't send them with their PE uniform. Okay, so just to remember, you need 2 clearly labeled masks in a Ziploc bag. You need unscented hand sanitizer, just in their backpack somewhere. It could be one of those that hangs. I don't have a preference. I just don't want it scented. They also need an extra pair of underwear and socks in a backpack in a Ziploc bag that's clearly labeled for accidents. You can start sending in 30 sets of party favors from the Dollar Tree or for the treasure box. You can bring those in orientation if you have them. No big deal. They need to wear their name tag. They need to bring their pouch that we gave you during orientation, and a snack and a water bottle, and then of course lunch if they're staying an extended day. And so that wraps it up. I'm sorry that this presentation was so long. Hopefully it's clear, and if you have any questions about that, please don't hesitate to email me. I'm really looking forward to this school year. I've been waiting to meet them, and just overjoyed, and just ready to start the school year. So hopefully I will be seeing all of you next week during orientation.